Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr.
This is early.
We'd heard that he might have some kind of problem. Alan, what is it?
Talked about a small vibration for about the last 7 or 8 laps. I think they just decided they didn't want to take a chance on it. They're within 5 laps of when they would pit anyway. So here he comes, and they'll make a 4-tire change and try and help him a little bit with the handling of the car.
45 miles an hour down pit road to his stall.
You see the going up. I don't see anything on the right front tire. Right side is down. Brian Smith, jag man, goes around to the left side, throws that jack under it, gets the car up. Boy, these guys are so good.
So Junior heads back out. And as Alan said, that's a little earlier than most of the guys were planning on stopping. But Elliott Sadler now on pit road, and he's headed toward our favorite guy from driver introductions, Marty Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. And Elliott's car still very tight in the middle of the corner. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment. They're also going to make a wedge adjustment on the left side, trying to loosen that car up. And they're trying to get all those tires back over the wall for the 30-18. And a good stop going for these guys so far. Middle of the corner off, 12.5, awesome. Elliott said that middle of the corner off, he's just getting killed by these other guys. That's what they're trying to make the car better. But a nice stop by the 38 bunch.
A terrific stop by the 38 crew.
Working lap 145 now.
These guys will all start coming in now, I think, pretty soon.
Kenseth has led 131 of the 144 laps.
Kevin Harvick comes off pit road, off the racetrack onto pit road, coming down to Dave Burns.
And Benny, he's fallen out of the top 20. Not a good run for them. In fact, the car started out so it was loose, and then it got so tight, Kevin said the car is plowing. I can't even drive the thing. They're going to make a big adjustment on the car this time. 4-tire change. Matt, Casey Mears coming to you.
Dave having a great run, very impressive, trying to score his first career win in NEXTEL Cup. The Target guys up on the wall waiting for the 41 to pull to a stop, and he does. He said the car was near perfect on that last run. No changes for this stop. Marty Forcier, the tire carrier, comes around to Dave.
Mark Martin still diagnosing his car. He thinks maybe now the right front of spring might have given up, his own words. The car is leaning on it, smoking through the corners. They make the adjustments they talked about, Matt.
And the Wood brothers hitting the 21 car. Air pressure adjustment for Ricky Rudd as the 40th. Sterling Marlin is already in a way. His car was good, just like his teammate. No changes there. They're waving the 21. He's away. Snyder.
Rusty Wallace comes to pit road running in the top 10 in that run. Matty said his car was a little tighter than he would like, especially at the end of that run. They had talked about making a track bar adjustment. They're going to go with a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment instead for the 2 car, and it will be a 4-tire stop for Rusty Wallace. Jeff Gordon also coming down pit road. He said, guys, I'm getting back to the gas at least 2 seconds later than everybody else. We cannot have that for the rest of this day, so it will be a wedge and air pressure adjustment for Jeff Gordon. The car extremely tight from the middle of the corner off. He said it's worse in 3 and 4 than it is in 1 and 2, and a kind of a long stop for the 24 bunch, Alan.
Carl Edwards is going to get a track bar adjustment. You'll see the wrench there going into that bottom hole in the right rear side of the windshield, and they've done that. 4-tire change, try to help the handling on that 99 car. Marty.
Well, the 17 bunch is making it look easy today. Matt Kenseth, very smooth sailing out there. The only thing he said is, you know, guys, I could probably be a little bit faster at the beginning of the run. Car's really loose at that point. Robbie Reiser will make an air pressure adjustment. He's going to add half a pound to the right rear tire, trying to get that looseness out at the beginning of the run, and a little bit longer on the left front than they would have liked for the 17 bunch.
And with the 17 coming to pit road, Tony Stewart stays out and leads a lap, gets 5 bonus points.
And as soon as that happens, he comes down pit road to get his 4 tires and fuel. Alan?
Yeah, Greg Zipadelli just warned Tony that being the first green flag pit stop of the day, be careful of your pit road speed. Last thing you want to do is get busted for speeding on pit road and have to come back in under the green flag. A 4-tire stop for Stewart, and they will send him on his way. They're watching for Ken Schrader to try and pit in front of him to make sure they can give Tony a clear route out of his pit and back onto the racetrack. There he goes.
Schrader pulls in behind him, so that's okay. Now Jimmy Johnson to pit road. Johnson also able to stay out, lead a lap, get 5 bonus points, and he heads toward Matt.
And the Lowe's guys, Bill, up on the wall, waiting for Jimmy to pull the 48 in. He's had great runs here at Texas, never finishing worse than 9th. He was 3rd here in the spring. Now, Jimmy says the car is tight all the way through the corner. You can see the wedge wrench in the back window. They're going to make a track bar adjustment, significant track bar adjustment. Timmy Latiga going to work on that left rear, hits those lugs, pulls that off, and he is away. They put a spring rubber in the right rear on this stop.
Usually when you see a 17, 18-second pit stop in NASCAR NEXTEL Cup racing, that means that they made some changes during that pit stop. That takes longer than usual.
And that was a long stop. Matt talked about the change they made, so Johnson heads back out. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8, Kyle Busch in the 5. That's back for 5th now, waiting for the scoring to cycle around. All this happening 151 laps into the race.
Kyle Busch, I think, entered when the pit stop started. The 5-car Kyle Busch was running 4th, and he's back in 4th now.
So Earnhardt and Busch battle. Matt Kenseth continues to lead. Tony Stewart 2nd. Casey Mears with a strong run to 3rd. Updating some of the other drivers, Ryan Newman runs in the 24th spot. Greg Biffle back in 31st. Alan?
Tommy Baldwin, Casey Kane's crew chief, told me this morning, we have got to get a top 10 finish today. They've had to come back down pit road under the green flag for a second stop. They're changing the battery. Some electrical problems on the 9 car.
A good day for the 9, the 19, or Bill Elliott in the 91. The Evernham Motorsports rides. Cycled back to Matt Kenseth, the race leader. He has led 137 of the 153 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway in the Dickies 500.
NASCAR NEXTEL Cup Series racing from Texas Motor Speedway is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. This is Budweiser. This is beer. By Sony. Transform the way you watch racing with Sony, the world's greatest high-definition television. By Propane. Propane exceptional energy. And by State Farm. Great service, great race. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm.
Under green here at the Great American Speedway. A lot of things going on. Matt Kenseth continues to lead. There's a new driver in 2nd place. Casey Mears has gotten around Tony Stewart, who slipped to 3rd. There's Casey in the 41 ride.
And I tell you what, it's not going to be long till the 41 car takes the lead.
The 9,
he's fast.
Yes, he is. The 9 of Casey Kane has gone to the garage.
So Mike Skinner, the 37 car, is coasting towards the garage area.
Time to work in our singular Race Talk $1,031 challenge question. Which track will Jeff Gordon win on first of the 4 he has not won at today here at Texas? Phoenix, Homestead. Don't get back to Chicago to next summer. To vote, text the word race to 191 on your singular wireless phone or go to NASCAR.com. You'll also be entered for a chance to win $1,031. Gordon right now in 23rd position. There's Greg Biffle. He is the first car a lap down. Matt Kenseth is the race leader. There's Carl Edwards passing Mark Martin.
Mark still just can't get that 6 car exactly where he wants it.
Just went through a round of green flag pit stops. So Greg Biffle has worked his way back onto the lead lap. Had to pit early in the race for a vibration for a loose left rear wheel.
And he talked about in the pre-race show, he needed for the caution flags to come out at the right time. Right now, for him, would be the right time.
Tony Stewart, 3rd place, 2 seconds behind race leader Matt Kenseth. Alan?
Just made his first call in on the radio since the pit stop. BP asked during a commercial break if there was something up with the 20 because he fell back to 3rd. He said a little too free this time, meaning he's got a little bit of a lack of rear-end grip on the car. But that may change as they run more laps on this set of tires and the air pressures get built up by the heat and the friction with the racetrack. They'll wait and see.
Carl Edwards chasing Kyle Busch. That's for 4th, and Edwards has it. So Carl Edwards, a winner a week ago in Atlanta, and is currently third in the championship standings. 2 races to go in the chase for the NEXTEL Cup after today. On board with Kyle.
Here we go.
As predicted, BP.
Man, Casey Mears to the front.
So he knocks Matt Kenseth back to second. Kenseth has led 149 laps of the 164 today. Mark Martin around Kyle Busch.
We see the cars going down in turn 1. We see the shadows. Interesting to see as they come off turn 4 if the sunlight is a problem for any of these guys. On board with Kyle Busch as he follows Mark Martin. Now, here, if there's going to be a problem, it will be here. A little bit, not too bad.
It's easy for you to say. You're up here.
That's right. It used to be a problem, Bill, but not anymore.
Dave?
With Casey Kane now in the garage area. Casey, you guys are going to work. Are you done or not?
I'm not real sure. I think a alternator belt came off or something there. I don't know. We were kind of struggling anyways with our Dodge dealers, UAW Dodge Charger, but who knows? Maybe they'll get it fixed. We'll be able to get some more laps out there and maybe get Stanley, McDonald, some of them guys a little more.
You have any idea? Is it similar to what Jerry Mayfield had last week? I guess he had a flywheel go.
Yeah, totally different than that. I started losing power and then smoke, and I guess the alternator belt came off, so totally different than that. But I just kind of back there racing with Bill, and I don't know where Jeremy was, but I don't know if he was very much better than what we were.
Tough day for Casey. Also, Mike Skinner in the garage area right now. They said they had a mechanical problem underneath the car, which occurred during the pit stop. They have parked it for the day.
Carl Edwards around Tony Stewart for third. And Carl is going somewhere, BP.
He is definitely going somewhere. Been watching the speeds on the monitor, and he's the fastest car now, the 99.
Alan?
Well, Carl Edwards being in just his first full year of NEXTEL Cup racing and contending for the championship, you might think he'd be very nervous about this time of year. But Carl said this weekend here at the Texas track, I don't feel any pressure from the outside. In fact, I'm a little bit maybe too happy-go-lucky. Maybe I'm having a little bit too much fun. Carl, I asked him earlier on Saturday, do you really think you have a shot at winning this championship now that you're 7 races into it?
To me, I give myself a lot better chance to win this championship now than I did 7 races ago. And that's just because of the unknown. I mean, you never know what's going to happen and all the circumstances. I still don't think we're as good a team as we're going to be. And if we were to win this thing, we'd be backing into it. But that's not going to stop us from trying our very hardest. But definitely is a different mindset right now than it was at the beginning of the chase.
As well it should be. Carl right now came into this race 4th in the championship. He is hanging in there. And guys, he keeps having runs like this. You never know what might happen 3 races from now.
How great is that? I mean, how honest is that? If we won it, we'd be backing into it. Tony Stewart continues to go back.
Yeah. I don't want to go that far. You don't back into a championship these days.
Rusty Wallace in 10th. Jimmy Johnson trying to take that spot.
Remember, Jimmy Johnson made a lot of changes on that last pit stop. He's now trying to work his way back to the front.
And we saw Casey Mears put Biffle 1 lap down. Mears is the race leader. Matt?
Just jumped up into the 10th position, Bill. Now, he came on the radio about 7 laps ago, and all he said was loose. And Chad said, that's great. We love loose because they've been battling tight most of the day. Snyder?
Well, Matt, on the last stop for Rusty Wallace, the air pressure and wedge adjustment, he liked a whole lot. He called to the team and said, hey, guys, we made big improvements that time. It's still a little bit tight, but the car is certainly better. Rusty trying to get back in the top 10, and he's had 3 straight weeks of bad luck, hasn't he, Bill?
He sure has. Now, Mears leads. Kenseth has led the most laps twice this season. At Chicagoland and at Bristol. He won at Bristol and finished 2nd in Chicago. He's the 3rd driver this season to lead 1,000 or more laps. But right now he's chasing the 41 car of Casey Mears. So Casey been carving his way through the field. Greg Biffle trying to get back on the lead lap. A lot of traffic and a long way to go at Texas.